Ouya Academy. Leading the way into the future while valuing our individuality. It's time for you too to dive into the world of Pokemon. Director Clavel, head of Ouya Academy. Paldea is a sprawling region bursting with lush nature and magnificent landscapes. It is also, of course, home to the mysterious creatures known to us as Pokemon. Wouldn't this really not be that much as mysterious since it's been around since, like, the 90s at this point? Seriously, I feel so old when talking about this. They reside here in great numbers, in fact. Pokemon can be found living all over, in the seas, in the skies, even in our cities and towns. We humans coexist with Pokemon, as we both help one another to live and thrive. The Ouya Academy is here to help you learn even more about these precious partners. Within our halls, people from all regions gather to study together. As a Pokemon trainer, they have their Pokemon to battle, growing alongside them. While our robust curriculum of coursework helps our students draw forth their fullest potential. It is within these walls where you will find your friends, your Pokemon, and your true self. We, the faculty and staff at Ouya Academy, can't wait to welcome you with open arms. Hey everybody, it's the Team Rocket 100, and welcome at long last to a very well planned out Let's Play for, you guessed it, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet! In this case, Pokemon Violet. Whoo boy! This is a series that I never get tired of. For someone who grew up with the second generation of Pokemon, I still love playing these games even to this day. I may be in my early 30s, but hey, even adults can play games like these. It's for all ages. So what's interesting is that a lot of people prefer to play Scarlet as a Let's Play rather than Violet, which is weird because while doing research in it for this game, I found out that there's more people that bought Violet than Scarlet, which is odd to say the least. Ah, now you got salt water in your circuitry. Or biomechanical body? I don't know which one do you prefer. And that now saving process I'm needing it to disable. You know, I feel like something is missing around here. Oh, I know. Why don't we go for something with this? Hola! Yep, I decided to include my webcam for something like this, and believe it or not, this is the third taking of me actually doing this because I keep having recording failures, and yet I know I'm still getting used into this in the new Camtasia upgrade that I got a little while back, but I'm still working out the bugs and all that, and you know what, it's fine. It's not like anything bad's gonna happen during these recordings, right? Well, anyway, let's get into it. Pokemon and Violet. And of course, typical of the way how things start off. So what's interesting? The protagonist that we're playing as. Now, I haven't really been keeping up with the anime as of lately, most of it because, well, I had stuff going on and I can't exactly fully watch it properly. It is very likely to believe that we actually have transferred from the Galar region. Supposedly. Good morning, Derek. Oh, already in your uniform and everything. Well, it is your first day at your new school, after all. I'm so excited for you. Still, you might want to cool your engines before you go racing out the door. The school contacted me and said that you're supposed to wait here a little while longer. Their words, not mine. Apparently there's something very important for your first day that still hasn't arrived. Maybe that's the very thing we're waiting for. Derek, get the door, would you? Why, yes. Oh, yeah, right. I want to turn the text to speed into fast. I want autosave for the time being to be turned off. Yeah, I mostly do this because if I ever have a recording failure and if things are on autosave and something goes wrong, well, that potential footage would be lost. I'm a little bit paranoid about that sort of thing. But you know, there is one thing about this game right off the bat that I do want to talk about that is a little bit annoying. But we'll get to that in just a second. Do forgive the intrusion. You are Master Derek, yes? On behalf of the Academy, I must apologize for the late arrival of your enrollment documents. Ah, and also for my delay in introducing myself. I am the director of Ouya Academy. You may call me Mr. Clavel. The director? And you came in person to help my son with his first day? Well, I am responsible for the entire academy, including any failures on its part. So here at last are the enrollment documents that should have already been delivered to you. Goodness, you really needn't have. Since you come all this way, can I at least offer you a cup of tea? No need to trouble yourself. Derek, I got a thing or two to discuss with the director here. Why don't you head back up into your room and finish getting ready for school? You'll need your bag and your hat as well. Now, Mr. Clavel, you said we must join for a cuppa. This way. Well, how can I refuse such a kind offer? So the word cuppa is actually kind of a British word. It is highly believed, and this is only a theory, that we may have actually been transferred from the Galar region, as Galar is mainly based off of that of Great Britain. But like I said, it's never been properly proven. And this right here. This is what I'm talking about. You can press the X button to open the main menu. Select the save option from this menu to save all the progress you've made on your adventure so far. When you open up your bag, you'll find some key items inside, including your adventure guide. Check it out whenever you want to review handy tips like these and that you save along your adventure. But what they really should do is include something like, hey, you ever played a game like this one before? Or is this your first or second time playing this? And if you say no, then you'd probably be like, you'll be fine. Literally hit the same mechanics. They'll also include some of the new mechanics along the way. Or be like, dude, this is like my 4th or 5th time playing the game. Like, come on. I know how this in the game works. You don't have to just get your... But I digress. Oh, just look at you. All ready for your big first day? Yes, the uniform of our storied academy suits you quite well indeed. Oh, gracious, how very careless of me. I had totally forgotten that I had something else for you, Master Derek. A most important thing. But your living room is hardly the place for it. Would you care to follow me outside? I wonder what this important thing might be. Let's follow the director out and see, shall we? have to say, that is a beautiful house. And it definitely looks fancy. Right then, dear Pokemon. Time to come out of your Pokeballs. We provide each student entering the Academy a Pokemon of their own. I'll ask you to choose which among these three you'd like to have as your partner. Sprigatito, the Grass Cat Pokemon. Fuecoco, the Fire Croc Pokemon. And Quaxley, the Duckling Pokemon. They're all very good company. Why, they usually refuse to even leave my side. What's this? So it turns out they're more interested in you, Master Derek, than familiar old me. I do wish I could stay and see which one you'll choose, but I must be off to my next house visit. I'll be at the house just over there. Take your time with your decisions, then come find me home once your mind is made up. That is not a house, that is a mini manor right there. Now if you'll excuse me, until we meet again. What a manly fellow that director of yours is. These two are all lovely, but you need to choose just one, right? Not an easy task. I'm gonna take this opportunity to walk about with these little ones and get to know them. I'm sure they have lots to teach you. Oh, but before you go, I got you a little something to celebrate your big day. Take it with you, and if you're going out of your own, a Rotom phone! We haven't seen something like this already because it's been like, what, a few generations now? Thanks, Carlos. Yeah, sort of. It's a brand new phone. According to these instructions, you can check the map app by pressing the Y button. It'll help me keep you from getting lost, so take good care of your new gadget, okay? Now off we go. Have fun! But before we do all that, I want to hit the left button on the left joystick. We now have access of switching uniforms as we so please. The one that we're currently in is our autumn uniform. Wait, was it the autumn uniform? Oh wait, no, we were in the summer uniform. We have the choice of summer, spring, autumn, and probably the one that I have the strongest bond with, the winter uniform. And I gotta say, these gloves are really strange. I'm not the biggest fan when it comes into this sort of thing, but I guess, to be fair, they have to go with one strange technicality that this game has to offer you in such strange ways. So, if we hit the X button, we can get rid of our hat. Thank God. I guess then it would be kind of nice to have glasses on, but yeah. So, before we head on towards the mini manor over there, I want to go ahead and explore around the house a little bit. Because, right around here, even though that we're only going at a normal walking speed, we find some hidden items around here. You're going to be finding items everywhere in this game. I'm not even joking, that they can even respawn over time. Something that you definitely might want to take into consideration. Get a free potion right there. Gotta have one somewhere in this game. See what this item is. Free Pokeball! I'll take it. Up there! We can't get to that. That is a TM up there. And they can usually be like that because they're glowing yellow and electricity shooting up in the air. And I'm surprised in that our mom has not even noticed that yet. And I have to say, this is like a very nice private location for someone who's, in a way, kind of well off. Come on, Fuecoco, get your chompy butt over here. Alright. So the thing that I like about this so far is that this kind of falls on more to that for what Sword and Shield introduced to us, and finally when we can move at a nice speed. But we now have a chance to explore the area more freely. And the best part is, this kind of falls on more with the same mechanic that we have in Legend Arceus, where we can go in whichever way we see fit, and pretty much complete whatever course anyone has in front of us in whatever way how we want to do it. Don't worry, I'll explain a bit later. And now we come to probably one of the most annoying characters you'll be seeing throughout the series. Note that I said one of. Uh-oh. Are you these three's trainer? Not quite. Master Derek has yet to make his choice, you see. I do wonder which of them he will choose as the first Pokemon. Oh, that's so sad! He was just having a snack and Quaxley just has to be a prick about it. Thanks, Duck. Buenas! We haven't met, have we? I must say, I wasn't expecting to see you here quite so soon. Hang on, Director. Is this who I think it is? Yes. This is our Academy's newest student, Master Derek. He will be attending as of today. So you're that kid who moved in up the road? I've been dying to find out more about you. I'm Nimona. Normally I live in the school dorms, but home is here. What is a new neighbor? Want to be friends? Love that enthusiasm. We're gonna get along just fine. What's hilarious is that if you say no to her, she'll actually give you a sad or shocked look and be like, whoa, did I scare you or something? You're definitely giving off a lot of Roxanne Wolf vibes on that one, because a lot of people are scared of animatronics, so... Miss Nimona is president of the student council and a champion-ranked trainer in her own right. I absolutely love Pokemon battling. In fact, we should battle right here, you and me. Easy now. You two will be in the same class, so you'll have plenty of time to battle later. And to get to know one another better, of course. We're gonna be neighbors and classmates? Nice! We'll be able to battle all we want! On that note, Master Derek, have you decided which of these Pokemon you would like to be your first Pokemon partner? Alright! And now, the time has come to make our decision. But first, a bit of a special environment is needed for this very occasion, shall we? Alright! So, I'm going to be doing something different when it comes into the bio hits in this game. Why? Because the Pokédex that we have for this particular game is going to work in a very strange way. There are a ton of Pokemon to find out here, and there's going to be some Pokemon that we're not going to be able to talk about for quite some time, but here's what I am going to do, though. I am only going to be covering the brand new Pokemon that Generation 9 has introduced to us. But there is going to be a bit of a rare exception. Previous Pokemon that do gain an evolution in this generation, as well as anything that they had to offer that'll be useful for that. I will also be covering the entire evolution line, just to kind of make this a little bit easier for me when I can talk about this with you guys as well. So, with that out of the way, let's get started with the starters. Sprigatito is a pure grass-type Pokemon that, honestly, is not a bad Pokemon in on itself. This is probably one of those classic grass-type Pokemon that is meant to be decent in terms of battle, but this is also a Pokemon that is really good for those who are veterans that want to challenge in this game. If you want to challenge, Sprigatito is going to be your cat to go for. It doesn't start off that great at first, but by the time it evolves into Floragato at level 16, it will start learning some pretty good grass-type moves to complement it well as it is. Hey, it can also have potential to learn how to Confuse Ray, and who could say hit and no hit to things like that? But at level 36, when it evolves into Meowscarada, it becomes a part Dark type, giving it a couple of immunities, but sadly it gains a couple of more weaknesses in the process, including a quad weakness to Bug. On that note, though, you're going to be hearing something that you're going to be seeing a lot throughout this game. Signature moves, signature abilities, or both. For the starters, they will always come with a signature move by the time when they fully evolve. In Meowscarada's case, it is going to be Flower Trick. Flower Trick is a 70 power physical grass type move that always results in a critical hit unless it has battle armor or shell armor. Essentially, it's kind of a non-miss move. Not bad to say the least. Critical hits and it kind of work a little bit differently in terms of game-wise, because critical hits have typically double the damage for when it does, and this is something that you definitely want to take into consideration. All around, this is a very good Pokemon, but it can be a challenge, especially since you're going to have a major disadvantage against the majority of the bosses in this game, including the ones you always see in the DLC. And yes, the DLC is going to be covered. So, Sprigatito is a great choice to have, but you may want to consider and know how to properly use it before you do something you're going to regret. Next up, Fuecoco. That's how it's pronounced. It's not Fuecoco. Thanks, anime. Thanks, Spanish. Well, anyway, Fuecoco. This isn't one of those classic good choices for a special sweeper, except not really much for a sweeper, but more of a special bulky wall. Not bad in and on itself, to say the least. Crocolore hits the next evolution at level 16 and starts learning some pretty good fire-type moves, but it'll be from here for when things are going to start getting a little bit interesting. It'll start to know some other good moves, including some of the ghost-type moves, and it can also know some other decent moves through TMs as well. Skeleturge at level 36 makes this thing to be a force to be reckoned with, and it is one of the absolute best Pokemon to have for this game, making it the easiest to raise. That signature move, Torch Song, is a no-brainer. An 80 power, 100 accuracy special fire type move that raises a special attack stat by 1 stage after each successful use. Can I just say, yowza? This This is a great Pokemon, and I've used this in probably the most out of all of these starters. So far, we're 2 for 2 and for having some pretty good Pokemon right off the bat. Plus, with it becoming a part Ghost type, it gains a couple of immunities, and yeah, it does get a couple of weaknesses as well, but if you can get around all that, Skeleturge is great when you use correctly. All around, Fuecoco is great. I love it to death. And like I said, I used it in the most of it throughout this series. Can you blame me? No. Quaxley is basically your middle-of-the-road choice, but this one is actually kind of different. It's meant to be a mixed sweeper. So, 3 for 3. Yay! It doesn't start off with such good moves right off the bat, but by the time it evolves into Quaxwell level 16, it starts learning some nice flying type moves, water type moves, and even a couple of good fighting type moves. In fact, teach this thing low sweep. Pretty good choice to have. Quanquavel, however you friggin' pronounce that, evolves level 36, becomes a part fighting type. Very interesting Pokemon to say the least, but hey, I guess you ever wanted to know what I was pressing it looks like as a duck, there you go. And of course, you can't say no to that signature move of Aqua Step. An 80 power, 100 accuracy, physical water type move that raises the speed stat by 1 level with each use, and that is successfully hit. A very good move in on itself. In fact, Aqua Step is very nice to have, especially if you want it to be faster than you would want it to be. But you may want to also consider some good fighting type moves, and heck, give this thing acrobatics. It is a very good move to have for this particular Pokemon. There is one catch into this Pokemon that I do want to quickly say. Because it's a mixed sweeper, this is a case scenario of if it's a swing and a miss, it's going to take a lot of damage to the point of where it'll faint. So, be careful how you use it. It is going to be kind of a challenge, but not bad to say the least when you get to know it better. So, Quaxley, a good choice to have if you want it to be on the middle range side, but just to know that you're going to be dealing with a lot of enemies in the process, and that might actually prove to be a challenge to you. Alright! So, we can literally go out with any one of these Pokemon of our choosing. And I thought about this, and, well, I always have issues with dealing with my hairstyle as well, so come here, Quaxley! You and I are gonna take on this region together! So you're a male, so I think I will give you the nickname of Michael. That is actually kind of cute. But you want to know what's kind of strange? For Fuecoco, it doesn't look like it's not even sitting on you. Sprigatito is probably the closest on that matter, but not for Fuecoco, because that one is weird. Quaxley seems to have taken quite a liking to your Master Derek. This is your first Pokemon, yes? Please raise it with love and care. And of course, be sure to keep it tucked safely inside a Pokeball. Derek, I can't believe you actually chose Quaxley. I mean, way to make the perfect choice for you. You two make such a good combo. Can I choose one of these Pokemon to Director Clavel? Oh, but did you not receive a Pokemon when you entered the Academy, Miss Nimona? Not back then, no. I had other Pokemon I was focused on raising at the time. But I want to raise a new Pokemon alongside Derek while he raises his own new partner. Indeed, a rather splendid idea. If you wish to raise one of these Pokemon on equal footing with Master Derek here, I shall be more than happy to allow it. Yes! Since Derek chose Quaxly, I'll go for this little one. Nice to meet you, Fuecoco. Welcome to the team. Alright then. Now that we have chosen our Pokemon, we have to battle. I'll be waiting for you down at the beach. Come join me when you're ready. As you may have noticed, Mr. Mona is a tad overly fond of Pokemon battling. No! Whatever gave you that idea? But I do hope you'll join her for a battle. It will help you get to know your own Pokemon as well. Alright, so before we do that, though, again, the auto heal features will automatically select items on your bag to use them to heal your Pokemon. To use the auto heal, highlight the Pokemon you want in the menu and press the minus button. Auto will use up items in the following order: potions, freshwater, soda pop, super potions, lemonades, Moo Moo Milks, hyper potion. But apparently these things don't do like max potions or full restore. Actually, you know what? Let's check out Michael right here. Let's see here. Ooh. Onf. Plus speed and minus attack. A timid nature. It is a sturdy body, so prioritizing in defense. There are some other functions about this and that I do want to show off, but we won't be getting into that for a little while later. And of course, because in this place it's a freaking rich, I'm sure they won't mind if I just pick up these items and they're lost around here. They won't mind that sort of thing, right? Yeah, I'll be with you in just a moment. I want to explore a little bit more of this place. Where does this lead? Oh! I don't think I've ever been this way before. Oh. Well, that's a big letdown. Oh yeah, that's a function that I'll be showing off a little bit later. But that'll actually be required for what you'll be seeing a little bit later as well. So I'll take that, get another potion. Hello. Anyone can be a Pokemon trainer as long as they have Pokemon by their side. And it's our duty as trainers to help our Pokemon grow stronger through battle. So, you ready to battle me, Derek? Perfecto! I'm so excited for this battle. I think I'll use Mr. Mona. I trust you remember that Master Derek is wholly inexperienced in Pokemon battling. You clearly have not had to see me in real life there, dude. Oops, you could call it, Director. I was able to set up one of my usual partners right off the bat. Don't you mean right off the Zubat? I guess I'll take the chance to try and to do her buddy instead. Come on, Derek. Let's have a fruitful battle. So, depending on which starter you choose, you will have the starter that is weak against you. In this case, it'll be Fuecoco, level 5, pure fire type, blaze for the ability, with Taco, Leer, and Ember. For my case, it would will be a Quaxley, level 5, pure water type of Torrent for the ability, with Pound, Growl, and Water Gun. If you've chosen any other Pokemon, you will see a Sprigatito, level 5, pure grass type, Overgrowth for the ability, with Scratch, Tail Whip, and Leafage. I think it comes as no surprise on what's going to be happening right off the bat. He must have been studying up. Smart move. Water is strong against fire. Doi. Looks like someone's forgotten about their chemistry. Wow, not bad, neighbor. Look at you winning your first Pokemon battle. You got even more potential than I thought. You're gonna be a strong trainer for sure. But now I want to try a different strategy. Let's go again. Just one more battle. Monster Derek and his Quaxley are surely weary already from that last battle. Sorry, got kind of caught up in all the excitement. I'm really sorry, Derek. Same to your Quaxley, too. Oh, definitely. We'll definitely battle more. You seem to be becoming fast friends, though you've only just met. Can I count on you to take your new schoolmates here under your wing, Miss Nimona? I'm sure you can learn a great deal from a champion-ranked trainer such as yourself. You bet, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Since you're new to training Pokemon, there's an app you'll definitely need. You have a smartphone, right? Let me see it for a sec. The Pokédex app will automatically register any Pokemon you catch. It's a must-have for Pokemon trainers. It's a super handy app. Our homeroom teacher, Mr. Jacques, actually made it himself. Back in my day, we used ordinary paper and handwritten notes to compile our Pokédexes. It's quite the age we live in now. Oof! Filling a Pokédex by hand? Can't even imagine how much work that would take. No, I suppose you can't. Someone has not been paying attention to history class. Yet no matter how much the time may change, the wonder of meeting new Pokemon never does. It is a truly timeless pleasure. And the more Pokemon that you encounter, the more you'll find yourself growing and changing. I hope you will both work hard toward the goal of completing your own Pokédexes. Now, Mr. Mona, I do still have a few matters to discuss with your parents. Could I depend on you to see Master Derek head to the academy? You will be doing me quite the favor. Of course. Leave it to me. Then I leave him in your capable hands. Alright, little one. It's time you and I were on our way. Maybe I ought to make a little more time to work on my Pokédex along with all my battling. Oh, right. Speaking of Pokédexes, Derek, you probably never caught a wild Pokemon, right? I'll show you the ropes before I take you to the academy. Come with me. I don't really think that's necessary, but... Pressing the minus button to open the Pokédex app on your Rotom phone in a flash. You can also navigate your Pokédex by pressing the X button from the map app. Again, not necessary. Oh, hello. Oh, Derek! Nimona here will be taking you to school. That's right, ma'am. Leave it to me. So you've already managed to make a friend. And I've read about all the wonderful teachers that you'll have looking after you at the school. Plus so many handy facilities to make you use as much as you like. What are you doing? In fact, you know what's strange? The animation that you're seeing A lot of the characters do this in the game. I'm not even exaggerating when I say this, but you'll see. And then your new friend Nimona, and it sounds like your school life is shaping up to be fantastic. Now, you'll be staying in your school dorm, so I want you to promise me that you'll eat proper meals. Here's a bit of spending money to start off with. I also packed a lunch for your first day. Ah, yes. A delicious sandwich. A dish made of sandwich and vegetables, meat, and other ingredients between 2 pieces of bread. Makes a fantastic meal when out on a picnic. You're definitely going to want to remember this. Trust me, it'll make sense. Oh, and maybe you better take these too. Make that 7 free potions right off the bat. Use them on the precious little partner of yours. Should it get hurt in battle. I know every day in your new life is going to be full of exciting experiences far from home. Just try to savor them all, the good times and the hard times too. But if you ever want to come back home, you know your excuse me, you know your bed is always ready for you. Oh, all right then. You two had better be off, I suppose. Take care on your way to school. Your mother is so nice, Derek. Oh, but I was going to teach you how to catch a wild Pokemon. Come on, vamos! You know, when I was a kid, I always thought it was Vamonos. Oh well. This way! Apparently someone needs to update Dora the Explorer or something. Because I could have sworn that they say Vamonos in that series, and that's how I learned about it. Alright, this here's Poke Path. It's the path that leads into adventure for you and me. Out here, things are different than in town. You're gonna see wild Pokemon out and about. They'll be here on the path and in the grass and such. Get too close to one and you'll have to battle. But you've got Quaxly for that, right? And if you want to try to catch a Pokemon, you gotta use a good old Pokeball. I've got tons. Have a few. Oh, what luck! Time for some learning by doing. Try battling that Lechonk, Derek. Try to catch a wild Pokemon when you're about it by pressing the X button when throwing a Pokeball. When you're having a hard time catching a Pokemon, try to deal damage to it before throwing another Pokeball. That should give you a better chance of success. And of course, this is your classic of the way. And I'm dealing here with wild Pokemon right off the bat. In 3, 2, 1, yeah. So. That was awesome! You caught the very first Pokemon you went for! I'm crummy when it comes to actually catching Pokemon. Maybe you should give me tips. Anyway, how's my Pokeball just in case? Not even catching works out. Weaken the Pokemon, then throw the Pokeball. Remember that and you'll be fine. Now go battle those wild Pokemon and catch some of them. Let's meet up at the lighthouse over there. You can see our school home from the top. And yes. You don't really need to see any of that. Alright, so. Remember what I said from before that I'll be only covering the Pokemon that are new to this generation? I wasn't quite exaggerating on this. Because if I covered every single new Pokemon that's out here, it would throw out my voice at a faster than one would think, so. Well, we're kind of going on a little bit of a catching spree. Let's go ahead and cover the new Pokemon that we can find here on the Pokepath in terms of Generation 9. And also going to cover its evolutions. So, what better to start off with? Lechonk. This is your classic or normal starter Pokemon that's decent as it is. And quite honestly, I kind of call this the Centret of this generation. Like most normal types, it's capable of learning a lot of moves, to leveling up, and its stats are decent from the beginning of the game, but can be atrocious later on in the game if you plan on using it. Kind of an interesting case on it to say the least, but Lechonk actually has sort of pretty good vibes through it. Its evolution of Oinkoloing is more than just cosmetics. They actually have some pretty good use for them. Male Oinkoloing actually comes with a signature ability known as a Lingering Aroma. Contacted with a Pokemon changes the attacker's ability to Lingering Aroma. Essentially, it's another variation of Mummy. I don't really like it either. Quite honestly, I don't know why this sort of ability kind of exists if Mummy already kind of does it better, but I guess if you want to try to have some interesting luck when it comes with the use of these types of Pokemon, it could be decent in on itself. But, I guess if you really want to have a Pokemon that's okay for it is, male Oinkoloing is okay. But, curiously, the female Oinkoloing actually works something a little bit differently. While her male Oinkoloing are good for being offensive users, female Oinkoloing are actually more on the special defensive side of all things. Kind of weird in on itself, if you ask me. Not to say that it's bad per se. It's just these are types of Pokemon that are badly outclassed by other normal types that you'll be seeing later on in the game. So, if you want one, by all means, it's right there. You'll get another chance at it with it later on down the road. Tarantula, our very first bug type. And kind of interesting. Unlike most of the bug types, this one is actually more focusing on the defensive approach of all things. Interesting as it is, this is actually one of the very few times that when its second ability changes into something completely different upon its evolution later on. It's not the absolute best bug type as it goes on, but if you want one, this is a good choice to start off with right off the bat, but you'll probably be better off with ditching it for something later. When evolves into Bitops at level 15, Stake Out will later change it into Silk Trap. Excuse me, I'm actually incorrect. It doesn't change any of its ability. It's just as on their Stake Out. I was actually looking at something completely different. But anyway, kind of picking ourselves up though. Silk Trap, a signature move. It's essentially a move that prevents its damage from lowering the speed stats of any attacker that make direct contact with it. Kind of weird in on itself, but honestly, I don't really see myself finding any good use for this Pokemon move. And like I said, this is a Pokemon that's okay for being more on the defensive approach of all things. And Silk Trap is okay, I guess, if you want to use it for competitive play, like in double battles and all that, something we'll be talking about much later. And of course, as I said, we have a lot of things to cover before, and if we were to cover any other decent bug types along the way. So, I guess if you want to have a temporary Pokemon, this one can work okay in on itself. So, all around, Tarantula's okay, but it can be a challenge if you don't know how to use it. Palmy is up next, our very first electric type, and honestly, probably one of the best Pikachu clones that you'll be seeing. Not even joking when I say this. Because unlike our world famous electric rat that's known for a special offensive use and also being pretty quick, this one is actually more on the physical offensive approach and actually knows some good moves well on the way. At the evolution of a level 18 on Palmo, it actually gains some pretty good moves. So leveling up like Spark, you name it. If you really want to have a good choice on that one, Static is going to be the best ability to go for double player, single player, whereas Voltazorb or Natural Cure is great when it comes to the two double battles. Voltazorb pretty much just restores your HP if it's hit by an electric type move, but it is rare to come by though, so if you manage to have a move and that could do something like that, or if you just want to have a Pokemon to act as more of as a support user, this is your guy. The only real big gripe that I have with it is that it's a glass cannon. So unless if you want to try to have one and that could be decent in the way of how to use it in battle in other ways, probably is alright when dealing with such a thing. But when walking around in the place with 1,000 steps using the Let's Go feature, which we'll be talking about a little bit later, it'll evolve into Palmot. Going from an electric type to a fighting type, huh? If you say so. Very interesting, and I can say the least. And I don't mean that in the good way. But what's very curious is that this thing actually knows a pretty interesting move, and that not many other Pokemon can learn except for one, which we'll be talking about later. And that is Revival Blessing. The user bestows a loving blessing, reviving a party Pokemon that has fainted and restoring half of that Pokemon's maximum HP. I guess that if you want to have something that's decent in the way on how things are going to work out, you could find some good use out of that, but it's going to be a challenge in on itself. Upon its evolution, Palmot has a signature move known as Double Shock. A 120 hit power, 100 accuracy, physical electric type move that then basically makes it lose all of its electric type, and pretty much it turns it into a pure fighting type. Not bad in on itself, but I only ever recommend this if you want it to be a little bit more on the tactical side. It's similar to that of a fire type kind of movement that I can't exactly think about at the top of my head that's like this as well. But either way, it's nice as it is, but I only ever recommend this if you want to be on the tactical side. So if you want to keep this as an electric fighting type, you're probably better off with that. But having Double Shock, not bad, but just be mindful that you're going to be at a disadvantage later on. All around, the Palmy line is pretty good, but you'll be at a major disadvantage if you don't know how to properly use it, or if you're just absolutely confused on what to do with it. Alright! So, now that we've finally gotten that all out of the way, I think we're actually going to go ahead and end things off right around here. We got our new Pokemon, we did some catching, we actually got a couple of things done that I hoped for at this point. We have our next objective, we're just heading up for that light outside up there. I think we're going to go ahead and end things off from right here. So, next time on Pokemon Violet, or I guess I could probably just say, on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we make our way to the lighthouse, and hopefully we can get into our butts over to the academy so we can not miss our first day of class. I never thought that I would ever actually say that because I never really liked school in the past. But anyway, see you guys then.